Let's start sitting, and of course, if you would like to sit on something or feel more comfortable sitting on something, do. And we'll work on this concept of lengthening before doing the movement, whatever the movement is. Yeah? So let's just start here in your Sukhasana, and whatever is meeting the floor, press down. So the fingertips, the outer feet, the sitting bones, and see what happens through the rest of the body when you press down through these points. Good. And then don't press down and let yourself just kind of sink. Yeah. Yeah, we sit like this all the time, don't we?
This needs to be a natural position.
It's not good. So let's do this other one again. Press down and actively press down, and notice how there's a rebound effect. Now you go up. You look like $1,000,000 over there. All right. So let's keep the length and let the hands rest without coming back into that slumped, dropped over position. And allow the eyes to close as long as that feels good for you. Yeah. And we don't have the hands anymore as a contact point, but see if you can still find the other ones. And don't push down so hard, but just enough that you feel something happening. Yeah. And then can you be in this place with minimal effort and just take a few breaths? Give your body and your mind and your spirit a moment to arrive all into the same place at the same time. And start to notice your breathing. And pick one thing about the breath that you notice. And that, for example, might be movement, it might be the feel of the air against your nostrils, it might be the sound. Pick one thing. And see if you can stay present with that one thing for 3 breaths. After you let that 3rd breath go, just allow the chin to bow down and the eyes to blink open. We'll start to make some circles. Simple but not easy, yeah? Did anybody else lose it after like a breath and a half? No, just
meditation.
Yeah.
I'll take when I breathe.
All right.
And on the exhale, you start every exhale, you count 1 to 20, and it's really helped keeps it.
And then when you lose it, do you have to start with 20 again? Yeah.
You lose it, you start over.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good exercise. Let's go the other direction. Great. And then we'll pause here, and just for variety, let's change the way the legs are crossed. We'll put the other one in front. And we'll take the hands in front of you. Let the back round and just kind of push the air forward and get a little stretch here. And then do the opposite. Let's pull the elbows back. Let the arms stretch back behind you. Yeah, a little stretch here. Good. And then let's take the right hand to the floor, left arm over. And same thing, same, kind of like the cat yawn, yeah? Good, and then up we come other side. Oh, great. Let's come back to center. Turn the chest to the right and let the arms just spread apart and they're in the air. That's it. And then we come back to center and do the other side. Just nice little stretch, little spread. It looks like the screen froze. And then come back to center. You guys just wiggle around. Oh, I fixed it some. All right, let's take another round of circles. Technology. Can't live with it, can't live without it.
There's a group, a very large group Zoom call.
Yeah.
Forgot that my mic was hot.
Oh no!
My dog.
And you're barking.
I quickly realized it's funny. I got some of my from coworkers. Was that Desi?
At least you didn't say anything incriminating, you know. All right. Let's turn over, friends. We'll meet in the all fours position. Hands and knees.
I didn't curse at my dog.
All right. So here we are in this position, all fours. And before we move into cat-cow, think about just lengthening the spine in general. So draw back through the tail, forward through the crown of the head. Take a breath in. And then on the exhale, let's round the back, drop the head, drop the tail. And then on the inhale, we'll go the other direction, spinal extension. Take that a few more times. Back and forth we go. And as you're moving along, notice, where does the movement begin? Where do you initiate? A few examples might be kind of right in between the shoulder blades. Maybe it's a little higher, a little lower. Maybe it's from the navel. Yeah, let's pause here and then start to make some circles, rounding the back, going to one side and then coming down. And it might feel good as you're going along to bend and straighten the elbows and allow the head to just kind of be a part of the spine here. Yeah, let's go the other direction. Great. And then we'll pause and head back into child's pose. Feel free to widen the knees if you like. Let's keep the arms forward for this one and create a little push-pull. So the hands just push down and forward, and then they'll create a little pull. And do it a few times back and forth and notice how else the body responds. So likely the hips will lift and lower a little bit. You might feel different engagement through the back body. Yeah, let's pause just in neutral and walk both hands a little bit over to the right side. And then just a little bit, press the right hand and do that little push effect on the right side. And it'll create a side bend, but also a little bit of rotation. Yeah, and we'll undo. Crawl the arms over to the left side. Left hand will probably come off the mat. And then try to push forward with the left hand, adding a little more side bend, a little more rotation. Yeah. And then let's undo. Send both arms forward. Let's come back up to the all fours, and if the knees went wide, we'll reset. So they're right under the hips. Round the back into cat pose and come forward, and stay round until you can't anymore. And then the spine will unravel. Find this little lift. And then lift up through the belly, round and head back to child's pose, or just part of the way back. Now let's do that a few times. So we'll round, stay round until the very end of the movement. And then we lift and we round to go back. We'll do one more time and then we'll add on, and I can't really do the add on, but I'll fake it a little bit, just so you know. All right, so this next time, we'll come forward. Once you're in the forward position, bend the elbows and lower all the way down to the belly. From the belly, try to pull the floor back, come up into cobra, and then press into the floor. Let's go back to child's pose. So that'll be our pattern. Let's do 2 more rounds. We round, round, round. Extend at the very end. And then bend the elbows lower to the belly. And then from here up we come to cobra. Round, 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 back to child's pose. Good, let's do last one here. Yes. On the way to child's pose, let's have the toes tucked under. Everybody's favorite toe stretch. If you're up for it, scooch the knees back a little to hinge more at the toes. And if you're up for it, you can come sit on the knees. We won't be here forever, just for a sec, but do take props if you need them. Yeah. All right. And then while we're up here, let's do this with the spine. So take the arms forward and find that rounded back position. That's it. And then bend the elbows and send the arms back. Move the chest forward. Good. And that was it. Let's come out. Set the hands down. Untuck the feet. Give them a little shakety shake. Yeah. And then from here, just take a sec to stretch out the legs. That could be down dog. You could do one leg at a time, back, and then the other. Just take what you need for a sec. Yeah. All right, guys. And then from here, let's come back to the all fours position. Take the right leg back and turn the heel to the floor. Turn the chest to the right. And we'll reach the right arm out towards the front of the mat, up, and then back, and then down. As the hand lands, let the knee land too, and then we'll change sides. So forward, up, back, and down. Yes, and then again we go. Great. Next time the hand lands, stay. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees off the floor, but keep it pretty bent for the moment. And try to press the mat down and forward. Send the hips up and back away from your hands. And try to make as much space as you can along the spinal column. And very slowly start to stretch out the legs. And likely legs are a little tight. If you want to add some pedal here to create more stretch, you can. As the legs are moving, if you're doing that, notice what's going on in the spine, what's going on in the pelvis, and elsewhere in the body. Yeah, let's pause here. Widen your stance, bend the knees and walk the hands to the legs. Heels land on the floor. Crisscross the forearms. Let's come up through the center. And then out and down come the arms. Great. Stay standing. Soften your knees a little bit. And then the right shoulder, roll forward, up, back, and down. And then the left side. Yeah. On the right side again. Do that a couple of times, just alternating. And the movement here will start in the shoulders, but let it really travel then down through the whole spine, into the pelvis. You'll likely feel a little bend and straighten of the legs too. Good. All right. And then we'll let the movement quiet down. And let's be a mountain pose at the back of the mat. Feet about hips width distance apart. And take a little bend in the knees here. Lift the toes up off the floor. And then think about the pinky toe knuckle, or the ball of the pinky toe. And can you press down there? You'll roll towards the outer edge of the foot. Keep that, and then add in the ball of the big toe. So we've got ball of the pinky, ball of the big toe, and then press down through the heel. And keep those 3 spots as you re-lengthen the legs. Lift up through the abdomen, up through the arms. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Inhale. On the exhale, come down, relax. Forward fold. You can bend the knees as much as you like. Let's come into our halfway position, chest forward. Lower down, bend the knees. Press into that little foot tripod, all 3 spots on each side. Inhale, up we grow. And then exhale again, forward fold. Halfway, chest moves forward. Come down, take a little bend. Press down into the little triangle as you come back up. And then this time, arms just down alongside you. Yeah. Stand here, take a little hula hoop to circle out the hips. Exactly, and as the hips are moving around, notice how the weight is shifting on your feet. Yeah, go the other direction, see if you can feel those 3 points. Awesome. And then we'll pause. One more time, slight little bend in the knees, lift up through the toes, and press down into the little tripod. Yeah, up come the arms, inhale. On the exhale, relax the feet, relax the legs down, and come forward, fold. Halfway up, chest moves forward. And now this time, let's come down into plank pose. And I'll have us put the knees down for this first plank pose, yeah? in the position, broaden the collarbones, lift up a little through the abdomen, and just slowly shift your weight from one side to the other, and then I'll create a little bit of a wave through this spot. Yeah, good. And then from here, we'll pause. Come forward more, bend the elbows until you land down on the belly. I'm gonna stay on my knees. Keep the hands where they are in the cobra position and lift the front of the shoulders away from the floor so the upper back engages. On the next inhale, try to drag the hands back without moving them. Lengthen and lift. Lift the chest a little bit. Exhale, we come back down. Do that 2 more times. So the hands pull back, we lengthen and then lift. And down. And last round here, lengthen and lift. Come back down, reset, fold the hands, rest the forehead on the hands. Bend the knees so the feet are in the air and just swish the feet from side to side. Exactly. All right, everybody, let's release the legs back down. And take your time here to head into downward facing dog. No rush to get there. From your dog, let's come standing forward fold, either feet to the hands or hands to the feet, whichever you prefer. And then from there, press down into the little tripod. Use the inhale to come all the way up. And exhale to come back down with the arms. Well done. All right. Yeah. So in your position here, let's take your blocks. And I know if you're in the studio, these blocks are a little soft, but I think they'll be okay for what we're going to do. We'll have a little bit of space between the blocks. And when we stand, we'll have one block forward, other block back. We want to have the arch of the foot in the gap. Yeah. And then if you need a wider stance, you can get 2 more blocks. So you've got 4. Wow, they were so tall. Yeah, it's very exciting. All right, take a little bend in the knees, and then just like we did earlier, lift up through the toes, spread them out wide. See if you can find the ball of the pinky toe, the ball of the big toe, the center of the heel, and press down as you straighten out the legs. Yeah. And then from here, see if you can relax the toes without losing the other part. Yeah, so we're still pressing down through those spots. And then this is just to stay up here for a while. Yeah, underneath. Inhale the arms out and up. And then exhale, arms out and down. Yeah. Take that a few more times. And now and then, think about your feet, just finding that little tripod on each side. Good. And then we'll change the pattern a little bit. Next time we come up, turn your chest to the right and let the arms separate, so a little twist. Come back up. And then to the left, same thing. Yep. One more change. Let's come up. Interlace the fingers at the top if you can. If not, don't do that. Press up through the palms. And then over we go to the right for a little side bend. Yeah. Can you press down more through the left foot when you do that? And then come up. Go to the other side. Press down a little more through the right foot. Yeah. And then come back up. Under the hands. Press out. Pretend the air is really thick. And as you press the arms down, imagine the rest of the body will lift up more. Okay. Great. You guys look like $1 million. I don't want to get you off the blocks, but we will. So let's come down and then just stand where you are and see if you have a better sense now of those 3 spots on the foot and possibly a better sense of the inner arch of the foot after being up there. Anybody? Yeah. Okay. So I'll keep referring to that throughout our class. Let's move the blocks, just move them to the front of the mat actually. You might want them later. Let's head to the front. Feet about hips width distance apart. And then find your 3 spots on the foot. Bend the knees, bring the pelvis back to your pose. Let's take the hands to prayer. Good. Now stay in the position, tone the abdomen a little bit. Press wide through the upper thighs. And counter that by rooting down a little more through the ball of the big toe. There's a tendency to roll out for that. Yeah. And then take the arms back alongside you. And if you're up for it, take the arms forward and out on the diagonal. If you need to keep the arms back, that's fine, or in prayer, that's fine. Let's inhale. On the exhale, press into your feet as you forward fold. Take your halfway lift, chest moves forward. And then on the way down, let's go to plank pose, this time with straight legs. Now, if you need to put your knees down, you can. I'm actually going to. Everybody broaden the collarbones. Lift a little through the abdomen, and let's find that small little weight shift from side to side, allowing a little bit of a side wave to happen in the spine. And it's also good core work too, isn't it? Yeah, it sure is. It's kind of sneaky. All right, everybody, let's put the knees down, and then either come to child's pose or down onto the belly, whichever you prefer. We'll have the elbows on the floor in a sphinx arm position. Yeah, from here, let the chest drop down for a sec, and on the next inhale, try to drag the arms back. Lift the hip, if you're in child's pose, you lift the hips, come forward to come up, and then on the exhale, we come back down. Do that a few more times. If you're in child's pose, you can lift the elbows a little when you come up. If you're on the belly, let's keep the elbows down. Yeah, great. All right. And then from here, let's press ourselves. If you're on the belly, peel up and then go back to child's pose. If you're already in child's pose, let's come to all fours. And then everybody here will be in all fours. Take the hands a little further forward. And then we did something like this a second ago. This one will be a little different. Round the back, stay round as you come forward, and then unravel once you get there. We're not coming down this time. Lift up through the belly, around the back, and head back, just kind of part of the way to child's pose. Do that a few times. We round, and then we unravel, lift, and then we lift the belly round to go back. Now let's take it one more time. And the next time we repeat the pattern, some of you will do it with straight legs, and some of you will come back to this with the knees on the floor. Let's tuck the toes under, head into down dog, and we'll get there when we get there. And then standing forward, fold from here, any way you want to arrive. Press down into the tripods of the feet, use the inhale to grow tall. And then on the exhale, press the arms out and down, create a little resistance and see if you can grow taller. Yes, as the arms come down. Awesome. And then relax a little bit. Yeah. Let's take another shoulder roll, back and back. Great. Okay. So for our next sequence, we'll add in some lunges with the knee down. If anybody needs padding for that, just have it ready. And then your choice for the next chair pose, if you want to stand feet together, you can. I'm going to go wide. If you want to go really wide, you can too, whatever you like. All right, so we're at the front of the mat. Little bend in the knees. Just for a sec, let's lift the toes, find a little triangle, and then shift the pelvis back. Set the toes down, take the hands to prayer. Actually, take the hands to the top of the pelvis and try to press the pelvis back as you lengthen the ribs away from the pelvis, particularly the side ribs. Yeah, keep that, and then let's stretch the arms back, and only if you're up for it, take the arms out on the diagonal. Continue to press down through those 3 spots in the feet. Inhale here. On the exhale, we're down, forward fold. Halfway lift, chest moves forward. And then lower down, step the right leg back. We'll bring the knee down to the floor or to a blanket. And you can have the back toes tucked or flat, whatever you prefer. Let's shift forward. And on the inhale, lift the chest, lift the head. And on the exhale, shift back, go any amount straighter in the front leg. So take this a few times. We lengthen and then we lift. And then we shift it back. Yeah, a couple more. And if you're finding you're not able to find that length and lift on the forward aspect of the pose, take the blocks higher or use a chair or something to give you a little more space. Yeah, next time we come forward, let's stay. All right. And then from your position here, we'll come up, hands to the hips. And whatever is on the floor touching. Can you root down? Yeah? At the same time, through the lowest part of the abdomen, can you lift up? Let's lift up through the arms and use that lift of the arms to assist in the lifting of the side body. But then, can you take some of the work out of the neck, out of the shoulders, without losing the height that you've created? Yeah, great. Let's take the arms forward, find that sort of rounded position. And then bend the elbows, pull the arms, and stretch the arms back. Yeah, let's do that one more time. So we press forward, a little bit of rounding, and then we pull and come back. Nice job. Let's come all the way up, arms overhead. Interlace the fingers if you can. If not, just keep the hands parallel. Press up, and then a little side bend to the left. Yeah. And then come up. Undo the hands. We'll go to the left. Turn the chest left, open up the arms. Let's do that 2 more times, same side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Good. Inhale, center. We find some length. And exhale to the left. Nice work. Let's come back to center and then release the hands down to the floor or to the blocks. Tuck the back toes under here and lift the back knee and thigh. And in this position, try to draw the pelvis back, the rib cage forward, and without moving your hands, try to pull the hands towards the back of the mat. Yeah. Now on the left foot, can you find the foot tripod? Yeah, see if that changes your stability in the front leg. One more time, move the chest forward. Lighten up the hands if you're able to. Let's stretch the arms back if you're able to. And then only if it's a wise idea, take the arms forward. We won't stay, it's just for a sec. Yes. And then down come the hands. Let's move the blocks out of the way and go to plank pose. Everybody's favorite resting pose. Nice. Stay here, broad on the collarbones. And then lift up as we shift back to down dog, but don't step the feet forward, even though it feels kind of long. Let's lift really, really high on the feet. Round the back, let the head curl in for a second. Stay around as you shift forward again to plank. And then once you get there, take the rounding out of the back. Good, we'll do a few more of those. Now, if for whatever reason, if you need to put the knees down, do it like that. I'm gonna do it like that. Good. And then let's take one more round, forward and back. We'll land in the forward position, come down to the belly, let's have a little rest. Yeah, you can rest the forehead on the hands, you can wiggle the hips a little bit. Just take a second, and we'll add in a quad stretch before we do the rest of the sequence on the other side. So, let's bend the right knee, hold on to the foot or to the ankle. Stay in the position, notice if there's a death grip in the tailbone. See if you can release the death grip. Breathe in, and on the exhale, instead of squeezing the tailbone, see if you can lift a little through the low belly. Yeah. And then on the inhale, you let that go a little bit. And find it again on the exhale. Lift up through the low belly. Good. And then we'll release the leg. Change over to side 2. Yeah, so here we are. First, notice if there is a death grip and try to let it go a little bit. You'll inhale. And then on the exhale, find a lift through the low belly. Yeah. Inhale, we let it go a bit. And then one more time on the exhale, picture all sides of the waist hugging in towards the midline. Good. And then let that go. Stay on the belly. If you want to do a little windshield wiper, you can. If you want to just wiggle around a little bit, you can. Just take what you need. Yeah. All right, friends. We'll head back, downward facing dog pose. Go ahead and just get there. Okey-dokey. And then from your position, we'll head to the front of the mat, feet to the hands. Just one time, halfway lift, chest moves forward. On the way down, left leg will step back, release the knee down, and take blocks if you need them. Yeah. All right. So on the inhale, we find that shift forward and that nice little lift through the upper part of the chest. On the exhale, we take it back, going any amount straighter in the front leg. And continue that a few more times. Yeah, let it be all about the upper part of the spine. So we lengthen and then lift on that forward aspect. That's it. All right, next time we're in the forward position, let's pause. And then we'll come up, just bring the hands to the hips here. And in the front foot, can you find the foot tripod? On the back leg, whatever's touching the floor, just think of rooting it down and then lift up through the abdomen. Let's take up through the arms. Go ahead. And then relax a little through the shoulders without losing any of the height. That's it. Then from here, let's take the arms forward. Find that little push, a little bit around through the upper back. And then bend the elbows, stretch the arms back. Yes, do one more time each direction. So a little bit of push. And then we find the pull. Good, and then we come up, arms overhead, interlace if you can. Press up through the palms. And then over to the right side, we go a little side bend. Come up on the inhale, under the hands. Exhale, now we rotate to the right, arms separate. Take that 2 more times. Inhale to center. And exhale to the right. Good. Nice. Next time the arms come up, let's set them back down. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee. Pause in the position and see if you can find the length here. Pelvis draws back, chest draws forward. Try to pull the arms back without moving them. And then on the right foot, let's one more time find the tripod. The ball of the pinky toe, ball of the big toe, and the heel. Yeah. And then from here, if you're able to, take the arms back. And if you're still able to, take the arms forward. Just for a moment. Nice work. Down we come, no blocks. Plank pose or with the knees down. Inhale here. Exhale, up and back, down dog, but don't step the feet forward. And then do that a few more times. We'll round. Stay around on the way forward, plank pose. And then lift up and back, down dog. Do that once more. Round, come forward, and then re-extend. That's it. And the next time we come forward, your choice, either knees down, rest in child's pose, or forward all the way down to the belly. Yeah, just take a second if you need some little wiggles. Go ahead and add them in. Great. Great. All right. So you stay in either your child's pose or your belly down position. Let's take the arms back alongside you. Lift the front of the shoulders away from the floor, and then on the inhale, come forward to come up. If you're on the belly, you can also lift the legs. Exhale, down we come. Do that one twice more. Lengthen and then lift. Good. And one more round, lengthen to lift. If you're in child's pose, reset the hands. If you're on the belly, reset the hands. Let's go back to downward facing dog pose. Good work. All right, everybody, let's come to standing forward fold again. Any way you want to get there. Little bend. Press down into the feet. Use the inhale to grow. And the exhale. Set the arms down. All right, so far so good. So let's stand. Your hips width are a bit wider. Soften the knees a little bit. And we did kind of this in plank, but we'll do it standing. Let the right ribs go to the right, and then a little bit up. And then left to the left and a little bit up. Yeah. Now see if you can lift from the side body, not from the shoulder. Yeah. The shoulder's just a passenger here. Good. Oh, it's a very sneaky way to introduce the belly dancing. Let's make it a little smaller and a little quicker. So it's just kind of a little wiggly wave. Good. And then make it a little slower and a little bigger. And you might feel wanting to lift a foot or a heel. Do that if you like. Yeah. Great. Great. So we're going to do a version of this in Warrior 2 in a sec. And then we'll do a side angle variation as well. You've done it before. I just called it something different. Yeah. All right. So let's head to the front of the mat. We'll do a few things in lunge before we get up there. So you know that's coming. Let's bend the knees a little bit. Press down into the triangle in the foot. And then on the inhale, up we come. Exhale, down we go. Forward fold. Come up halfway, move the chest forward here. On the way down, step the right leg back. Let's start in lunge. Start in lunge, yeah. First, find the length in the torso. And then let's take the left arm forward, up, back and down, a little cycle. Just all the way around, that's it. And then the other side, forward, up, back and down. Do one more time on the left. That's it. Now when we do the right, listen up here. Turn the heel to the floor and use the arm cycle to bring you up into warrior two. I'm gonna have my back too, sorry for that. Bend the back knee a little. Soften the elbows a little. And now let's find that wave. So the left ribs come forward and then the arm comes, and then the right ribs come back and the arm comes with. So as you're doing this, whatever direction you're going, let that knee bend a little more, but don't overdo. Yeah, just let it be really soft. This one always reminds me of surfing, which I've never surfed before, but you know, the mat is our surfboard. Here we are going along. All right, and then let's pause, come into a classic warrior two. Shift forward, and then on the inhale, straighten out the front leg and lift the left arm up. And on the exhale, rebend either hand to thigh or forearm to thigh. Right arm comes overhead. Do a few of those. So the inhale, we come up. And the exhale, we come back down. And let's pay attention to the front foot for a second. Press down into that little tripod, especially on the way up. And then we come back down. Go one more time up. On the way down, this time we come all the way down, hands to the floor. Step back, we're going to plank pose, and we'll do that same little transition as before. So find the plank, broaden the collarbones, and then lift up and back, down dog, but don't step the feet forward. On the way forward, lift the feet and the heels, round back, forward, rounded, and then extend at the end. Yeah, do that a few times, or put the knees down if that's a better decision. Good. And then the next time we come forward, let's come all the way down to the belly. All the way down to the belly. I'm just going to be on my knees just to demonstrate. Hands will stay in the cobra position. Lift the chest a little bit, just a little bit. And then remember those shoulder rolls. Let's roll the right one up, back, and down. The left one up, back, and down. And do that a few times and let there be a hint of that little side-to-side wave in the upper part of the spine. Yeah. Good, 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 good. And then when you've had enough of that, come down, rest the hands, the forehead on the hands. You can stack the hands. Let's bend the knees and do the leg swish again, little side to side. Great. From here, we'll set the legs back down. Let's head into our downward facing dog pose. Take your time. And then to transition, we'll come to the front of the mat, feet to the hands. Halfway up once we get there. Lower yourself down, step the left leg back, and we'll start in the lunge. Keep the back knee off the floor. Lengthen the spine. And then the right arm will come forward, up, back, and around. And then we change left side. Good. Go back to the right side again. And now this next one on the left side, turn the heel to the floor and bring it all the way up to warrior two. That's it. Then once you get to warrior two, soften it a little bit. Let the back knee bend slightly, elbows bend slightly. Let the right side of the rib cage come forward, and then the left side pull back. Yeah. Do that a few times. Let the arms just come along for the ride, like you're moving in the water. And then as you go forward, the front knee bends a little more. As you go back, the back knee bends a little more. Yeah, and this is totally not a real pose. It's made up, but I think it's kind of nice. And I like watching you guys do it. You know, I have a student, he's actually a surfer, like in real life. And I'm like, oh, this is this, and then I'm like, oh, I can't say that because it's not accurate. All right, let's pause. Classic Warrior 2. And then we'll shift forward. Press into the foot tripod on the right side as we come up, straighten the leg, lift the arm. And then we'll re-bend, left arm comes overhead, and take that a few times, one side and then the other. Yeah. Good. Now the next time we come up, this will be our last one, come all the way down, hands to the floor, and we'll do that dog plank transition with the wave through the spine, yeah? Let's take a few rounds of that, or have the knees down, of course. It's good core work, isn't it? Yeah. All right, and then let's take a little break, this time coming to child's pose. Unless that's not comfortable for you, whatever else you find restful, do that instead. And it might feel good here to add in a little wobble, a little wiggle, whatever you need. Yeah. All right. And then let's come up to stand. You can get via down dog if you want, or just come up. And we'll do a calf stretch. We'll do the blanket roll version today. Yeah. So go get a blanket. If you don't have a blanket, you can probably finagle something. And we'll roll it up approximately to this size. Yeah. Now the studio blanket's squished down a fair amount. If you feel like you need more height or more grip, you can roll your yoga mat over it so it looks like this, like a little taquito. Yeah, I'm gonna keep mine like this. And then let's have the blocks in the front. So first we'll do one leg at a time upright, and then we'll do two legs at a time and come down. Let's put the right foot up there so the toes are up on the roll, the heel is down on the floor. Yeah, and then the left foot can step off to the side, and then forward as much as it feels okay in your body, and then you can do so without losing your balance. Yeah. We're not going to do the one where we walk on the roll. Remember that one? We won't do that one today. Now, in your position, there's a tendency to just kind of hang in the right hip. Let's go a little bit to the left. Slight bend in both knees, which is kind of awkward on the right side, but just a little bit. And then see if you can lift the toes, any amount. Press into the foot tripod here. Follow the big toe ball, the pinky toe, and the heel. And keep that as you re-lengthen the legs. Keep the toes lifted for a second if you can. And then out and up come the arms. Yeah. Can you stay long and lifted while relaxing the shoulders and the neck? Can you keep the inner arch of the foot lifted while relaxing the toes? Yeah. Good. And then from here, let's take the hands to the hips. Bend both knees again, and it won't be much, and hinge but don't round forward. Yeah. And then stay in this position and slowly go straighter in the legs. And I should have said this, probably your blocks are close enough. You can grab one or two and be in this position here. Yeah. Oh, how exciting. Now I'm guessing you're feeling a different sensation on right leg and left leg, yeah?
Yes.
But something in both sides, right?
Yes.
How exciting is that? Now, there's a tendency for the back to round, which will lessen the stretch in the backs of the legs. Let's everybody little bend in the knees. Draw the pelvis back, the chest forward, try to take the rounding out of the back. If that's not possible, go higher on your blocks, make a little tower. Yeah, and then very slowly re-lengthen the legs. Oh, yeah. Can you breathe while being in the position? No? If no, then you've come too far. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's slide the right foot off the roll and just come back up to seat. Okay. Side two. We'll have the blocks just ready. Left foot on the roll, heel down, toes up. Right foot any amount further forward. And then first notice if you're swinging a little left, see if you can be on the right side as well. Tiny little bend in the knees. Lift up all the toes if you can, and then try to find that foot tripod. All 3 spots on each side. Press down to lengthen. Keep the toes lifted for a sec. Take the arms up. Use the lifting of the arms to help lengthen the sides of the body. And then relax a little through the shoulders. See if you can relax the toes without losing that lift in the inner arch of the foot. Yeah, great. And then take again, slight little bend in the knees. Take the hands down to the hips. Start to hinge forward as we come down. Yeah, good. And then hands will land on a block or 2. And then move the chest forward again. Try to keep that. Press down into the foot tripod as the legs start to lengthen. And maybe they don't go all the way straight. Yeah, no big deal. No big deal. Breathing. I don't remember if we did this on the other side. Let's do it here, but do very tiny little shift right and left of the pelvis, but so small that your neighbor might not even see. Good. And then pause, breathe. When you're ready to come off, step off of the roll. Press down to lift up. Let's lift the arms too. Good. And then you'll set the arms down. Yay. So the next one we'll do symmetrically, and I think you'll actually find it a little less intense than the one we just did. I'm going to turn to the side just so you can see. We'll have the blocks forward. Let's come down onto the blocks first with the hands, and then step on the roll. So that both heels are down, all the toes are up, slight little bend in both knees. Yeah. Now, we did this in chair pose. At the upper thighs, can you widen? If you look down, you might see the knees widen a little bit. And then counter that by pressing into the ball of the big toe and also the ball of the pinky toe and the heel. And then very slowly start to lift the hips as the legs go straighter. They might not go all the way straight. And again, if you need to make a little tower to go higher, do so. If it feels fine in your body to lower down more, that's an option as well. Yeah, everybody breathe. And then kind of like we did in some of the other ones, take a little right-left shift, just very small, side to side. Notice if you have a tendency to go to favor one side. Try to be right in the middle. Yeah, good. Okay, and then let's slide the feet down, coming off the roll. Press down to lift up come the arms. And down come the arms. Oh, but let's do the mountain pose. And you might, after stretching the calves and after doing so much with the feet today, you might just have a different mountain pose than we did before. Yeah, let's take a little bend in the knees. Lift the toes, find that little tripod on each foot. Press down to lift up, lengthen out and up through the arms. Stay up, but soften a little, right? The inner part of the shoulder. Try to relax the toes without changing the rest of the position. Yeah. Great. And then down come the arms. Nice work, you guys. Nice work. Anything you want to say? You're standing very well. Everyone who I can see. Let's come down on this. The calves are tight. Let's do one more thing for them. Yeah. So some of you might want a second blanket here. We'll keep the roll. I was debating whether to do this or not, but you mentioned it. Yeah, let's do it. So we'll take the blanket. We haven't done this in a while. and you'll wedge it. You might have to put your head on the floor. You'll wedge it as high as you can in the knee pit, which is called the popliteal fossa, somebody told me the other day. Yeah. Now, as we sit back, few possibilities. Some of you might need blocks. If the only thing you're feeling is agony in the top of the foot, come out, reset, put a blanket under the shins, and maybe a little fold under the ankles. Yeah. Or if all else fails, do the one where you're sitting down, I'll show real quick, and a leg over the block, and you can do this one instead, yeah? If you're up for staying on your shins, we're going to do similar action here, and just take a little side to side, kind of little rock. Yeah. And this is a different sort of calf stretch. You might get hamstrings a little bit too. Is that better? Yeah. And then let's pause, but the rest of it has so much. Push the roll back a smidge, like an inch or so, and then come squash again. And this might be a better spot. It might be a more, I don't like to say worse, but more interesting. Just a different place. It's a little more interesting. Every time I do this, even if it's twice a day, I feel it completely in a different way. So, the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah. And then we've got one more spot to do. So let's press down, and depending on how long your legs are, it might be kind of right at the it might be at the Achilles, which is okay, and it might be a little above that, which is also okay. So the tissue, the fascia is very dense in this part of the leg. Hamstring. Oh, you might feel it in the hamstring too. Extra bonus. Yeah. You know, every time I do it, I think I need to do this one more because I can definitely feel some good things happening. Maybe you won't feel good things happening until we come out, but we're almost there. Okay, friends, let's be done. Let's come out, pull the roll out. Oh my goodness. And then it might feel good to do either a down dog after that, or I'll just take one leg back. Just recirculate the blood through the legs. Yeah. Good. Okay, and then let's come sit in Dandasana. So we're not going to need the roll anymore. If you need it to elevate the pelvis, you can redo it. Let me show how you would know that. If when you're sitting, the pelvis is rolling back and you're more here than here, you would want to sit a little bit higher. Yeah. So from your position, let's kind of like what we did in the beginning of class, reach the heels forward and press the fingertips down and press the sitting bones down. And as we press down, notice how you get a little lift. Yeah. And then back off and go again. Press down to lift. Great. Now in a second, we'll let go of the arms. And if you experience kind of this drop back, this collapse, put the arms back down and keep that for a little boost. If you're okay to lift the arms and you don't drop back, do so now. And then pretend kind of like you've got puppet strings here and someone's pulling the strings on the fingertips. So you go a little more, but then at the same time, relax through the neck. Stay in the pose, and now instead of pressing through the heels, press more through the balls of the feet, like Barbie doll feet. Yeah, good. And then let's take the arms down, relax the legs, give it a little Babbasana. Yeah. Sometimes after doing that pose for the hip flexors get a little bit grippy. So let's come down onto your back. We'll do some windshield wipers to stretch them out. Be with the knees bent and the feet on the floor, and a wide stance in the feet. Yeah. Take the arms just kind of loosely overhead. Let both knees drop to the right, and then take like a
kind of a big yawn through the body. Reach the arms back and reach the left knee away from you. And then we'll back off. For the other side, knees drop left. Reach the arms back and reach the right. This feels so good. Right knee away from you.
Good stretch.
Yes. And then do one more on each side. Unless, if you don't like it, do something else that is more pleasant for you. Yes.
Oh, that's good.
All right. And then when you come back to center, yogi's choice, do something symmetrical. And that could be a thigh press, you could do a bridge, you could do happy baby, anything that's the same on right and left. Good. And then from here, friends, we will head into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Do feel free, of course, to prop as necessary and or to take a non-traditional position. If you want to be on your side or on your belly, that's fine. Yeah. Now, throughout our class, we are doing various different versions of pressing down. In Shavasana, don't do that. Yeah? Let yourself just drop into gravity. Let yourself embrace gravity. And see if you can let go any holding or gripping around the abdomen. Any holding or gripping around the face, eyes, mouth. Relax the little spot right behind your ears. Allow your whole body to ride the gentle wave of your breath. Begin to breathe a little deeper. Start to take just some gentle movement back into your body. And when you're ready, you can bend the knees and roll to one side. And take whatever time you need to come back upright. No need sitting. Just one more time in a very gentle way. Find that rooting down to lengthen. Find hands at heart center. And thank your body here for everything that it's able to do. Namaste.
Namaste.